Hi guys! Welcome back
to my channel.
My name is Carissa, if you are new, and thank you so much for coming to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you my top vintage / thrift store finds. They're different if you didn't know, and I'm just gonna show you all of them, try them on for you, style a few outfits. So if you're into that kind of stuff, then please keep watching. First off, I'm sorry about the dim lighting. It's very moody and Instagrammy, but that's because I forgot my light at Mark's house. Mark is my boyfriend, if you don't know. So I apologize, but it's kind of like a vibe. Like, this is vibey, right?
Stop it. Get some help.
I actually am obsessed with these. If you guys want a tutorial on how I did this, it only cost me, I think, less than $100, and it's the whole wall. And it literally looks like a seamless backdrop, and it's insane, and I'm obsessed with it, so it's fine. Okay, in this video, I'm gonna talk about all of the vintage finds that are my favorite that I own, and the thrifted finds that are my favorite. And I'm not gonna give as many tips in this video on how to vintage shop and how to thrift shop, because I have a whole nother video to explain that to you, and I'll put it right here so you can go check it out if you want all my best tips. And I have some good ones. I'm currently wearing Nixie Studios necklace. I'm obsessed with this one. I forget what it's called. I can link it down below. And then the Miranda Fry Julia Havens chain collaboration. Literally wear this with everything. It's a great standard chain. Okay, let's get into it. I think I covered everything. If you're new to my channel, I'm a professional model, and during this pandemic, I decided to just go crazy with like Instagram and YouTube, and I create a lot of content. So I'm focusing right now mostly on fashion and beauty, but I might end up, expanding further, but as of right now, that's what I'm doing. So leave a comment down below if there's something you want to see, like Bella Hadid styled looks or Hailey Bieber, whatever. I can do that for you. Let's start with this piece first. I got this from the, wait, let me make sure I say it right. Oh my God, my eyes. This sweatshirt is from the Vintage Twin in New York City in Soho, and they actually sent it to me. How gorgeous is this? Look at this little cool acid wash stain. I'll put in a video here of me wearing it. It's the most comfortable, amazing champion sweatshirt. The Vintage Twin is a little bit pricier. So the Vintage Twin is in Soho, New York City, and they have actual vintage pieces, which are like, that means that these pieces are from a different time period and they're more valued because they have good materials and everything. Whereas thrifted is just like people give their clothes there. And, some of that could be vintage, but a vintage store is curated for a very specific audience, whereas a thrift store is not. So that's the difference. And this is from a vintage store. Vintage stores also happen to be, or also usually are more expensive. They just always are. Like, I think this was probably $65, but I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's huge and oversized. It has a very good, like, worn feeling too. And that's another reason why I love vintage and thrift clothing. Why can't I say it? That's another reason I love vintage and thrifted clothing, is because it has a very worn in, cool, effortless vibe, which I feel like when you look at Hailey Bieber or someone like that, or Kendall Jenner, a lot of their clothes have that vibe, and a lot of their clothes are vintage. So it explains everything. And if you're on a budget, go to a thrift store. Anyway, let me not get ahead of myself. Check out this video if you want those tips. So I went to Temple University in Philadelphia, and I noticed that, like, I went to college like almost 10 years ago. Don't at me, I'm old. I never really bought sweatshirts or anything when I was going to college. Like, I never bought school stuff. It wasn't really cool to have collegiate gear. And I was thinking lately, I'm like, I need a collegiate sweatshirt from my freaking college. Like, what am I doing? My university. So I found this Temple University crew neck sweatshirt. And it is from, I actually still have the tag on, Vintage on First in Hoboken. So this is another vintage store, and it's from the 90s. And this is in a size double XL, and it's incredible. It's so good. It's like one of those ones that you see on like Princess Polly or something that they try to make it look vintage, but it's just not. Like, it's just not. And I think this was like $58, so it was pricey. However, if I were to get a brand new Temple sweatshirt, it'd probably be the same. And I just like this so much better. I love the heathered gray. I love how worn it feels. I love that this isn't perfectly done anymore since it's been washed so many times. It's super comfortable. And I actually can't wait to wear this with like a plaid skirt. That's how I should have styled it. Keep watching in the summer my Instagram. Follow me at Haan. I'll definitely put this on with a plaid skirt. Next find is a Polo by Ralph Lauren. I guess this is called a polo with the collar. What are these called? It's a long sleeved polo. Are they called polo because Ralph Lauren? I am the one. Light blue. This was a long, I cut it. So I got this at a thrift store for about $10, and it's a thrift store near me in Philadelphia. I think it was like a Goodwill. It wasn't a fancy thrift store. I saw it in the men's section, and it is a men's small. But I would have gone bigger. It just happens to be a men's small. I love the color, and the little polo guy is orange. So I think this is really cute and would be so cute with a plaid skirt as well, or sweatpants. Like this with some gray sweatpants and cool sneakers. It's just like a really effortless, kind of like collegiate inspired again, and also menswear inspired. And I love that because I feel like it looks effortless. I think I styled it here with a pair of vintage Lee jeans, and it just looks so effortless and cool. This next t-shirt I got at a Goodwill yesterday. I still have a tag on it. It was $4.99. $4.99. It's $5 freaking dollars, guys. And it is an extra large, I think it's a double XL. Yeah, double XL t-shirt. And it says Fishtown, which is a neighborhood in Philadelphia. And I love Philly stuff. I love city themed like t-shirts, kind of like the ones you get when you travel somewhere, but I love when they're vintage. I think they're so cool. I like the color. I love the big lettering. It reminds me of that collegiate trend we're seeing everywhere right now, and it looks so cool. The way I styled it here is with some corduroy pants. I think those are actually from H&M or Zara, and it just looks effortless, cool. Like I barely tried. It's so comfortable. The material is amazing. I don't know, it's like 100% cotton or something, but it just feels like it's not going to shrink in the wash, and I love that. Next piece is actually, if you don't know me, my sister passed away about 5 years ago, and she was so cool, and she was older than me, and not to make it dark right now. I did not mean to make it dark. It's just that I feel it helpful to talk about her because that's how I deal with it. And I still wear her old clothing because she was the coolest person ever. And this t-shirt was hers. So it's technically vintage because it's a Motley Crue t-shirt. Like, can you guys? I'm not fine. This is the coolest t-shirt. I'm pretty sure it's a men's extra large. It's a men's large. And it's T America pre-shrunk, 100% cotton. But it had some damage on it. So then I just made the tear a little bit bigger. I kind of regret doing that because I don't really love the tear anymore, but I would never stop wearing this. So it has a tear on the bottom. I actually might just take this whole tear off and make it like straight across, but I love the graphic on this. Every time I wear this t-shirt, people are like, that is such a cool shirt. And it means a lot to me since it's my sister's. And that's another hot tip. Another hot tip, that's me and Delaney's line. Another hot tip that I'm gonna tell you guys in my tips video in for vintage wear is to check your sisters, brothers, parents' closet, aunts and uncles. They have the coolest stuff. And this is one of my favorite t-shirts ever. So if you see band t-shirts in a thrift store or a vintage store, definitely check those out. They're usually worth something. I'll move on to denim. And denim was one of my favorite things ever to get at a thrift store. I'm not going to do my denim shorts because I have so freaking many of them. I have so many vintage denim shorts from thrift stores. I'm just going to do jeans in this video. And I'll do a whole nother summer haul of vintage stuff later. So the denim I have here, I got 2 days ago at Vintage on First in Hoboken, and they're real vintage and they're Lee's. Now, can we just talk about the seams on the front of these pants? Do you see the green stitching? It's so freaking good. I styled them here, I think, with the blue polo. And they are just, look at the butt. There's just nothing like, they don't make jeans like this anymore, and with real denim. It's a real denim material, so they're stiffer, but they're worn in. There's no pockets on the butt. Like everything about them, they don't make jeans like this anymore, you guys. They don't. Everything has stretch in it, and it's really hard to find real denim that looks expensive and cool. And I think I spent $75 on these, which is actually a really decent price because I've bought vintage denim for way more than that, like triple that price. So this was a great steal. Vintage Lee, I love Lee. They're so cool. And just a classic black denim, which I think would look really good with the bustier trend that's happening right now. So really cool tight bustier, these, and even like moccasins, or not moccasins, what are they called? Loafers. And that would be just so chic and cool. And this also with like a sweatshirt would be dope, and then a bodysuit. Like I can think of a million ways to wear these, and I had to get them. Next pair of vintage denim I got might be my favorite vintage denim I've ever found in my life. And they are Guess denim from Vintage on First in Hoboken again. And these were $98. I think I just took the tag off. But they are authentic Guess denim. They have a two-tone denim front pocket that goes around into the back with this same kind of cutout detail. So it's the lighter denim, the darker one. And then please look at the butt, you guys. Like, is this the hottest thing you've ever seen? Can you please look at this logo? That is so freaking cool. I just don't know if I'm cool enough to wear these. They're also so perfectly fitted. Like the waist feels like a corset, if that makes sense. And then it actually fits the butt because they've been worn before. They're also long enough, which I can't believe that they're long enough because that never happens. And they're just honestly my favorite vintage denim I think I own now. The next pair I have, so I don't know if you guys know this, but if you've been following me for a while, then you might know I work at Levi's as a showroom model. So I get to hear about all of the cool Levi's things, and I get to shop all their cool sales and everything. And I got these at a sample sale at Levi's, and they're vintage. And they are low 501s, super low. Lower than I normally would wear, but low is coming back, so I'm gonna hang on to these. And they're light wash and kind of like mom fit down the leg. So looser, straight leg, really cool, really worn in, which is my favorite part about vintage denim. You don't have to break them in. And they just have, you know, the classic Levi's red tab on the butt, the Levi's horse and carriage over here. And I just honestly, there's just, if you're gonna get vintage denim and you don't know where to start at Levi's. They are the #1 denim brand in the world. They started denim, and there's not, you know, there's too many things good I can say about them, so start there. But I love these ones, and I've been wearing these for years, and I cuff them at the bottom sometimes, and they're just like a good classic denim. The next vintage pair of denim I have is also Levi's, but these are even cooler. I got these at the Vintage Twin in Soho in New York City. So the Vintage Twin is pretty pricey, I'm not gonna lie to you, because it's very curated and cool in there. Like, if you wanna look like a blogger, save some money, I look like I have one of those weird tails, like, that my brother used to have when we were little. You guys know what I'm talking about? If you guys wanna look like a cool blogger, or no, like, all right, if you guys are going to New York City on a trip and you really wanna get something vintage and you're gonna set aside $250, go to the Vintage Twin and invest in a piece. So I got these genuine vintage full denim Levi's orange tab jeans. This is how you know they're vintage, right? The tab is freaking orange, which is from a particular decade, because they don't make new orange tab anymore, as far as I know. And these are a 505. They're technically 29 waist and 34 length, because there's actually men's jeans. So funny thing about the Vintage Twin, or not funny, so cool thing about the Vintage Twin is that they have a denim bar there in the back. So if you're unsure how to shop for vintage denim, you go to the back, you speak with a consultant, and then they take you into the rooms and they just give you denim based on what you're telling them. And I said I wanted a straight leg with a split hem vintage denim that was long enough for me. So they pulled me a men's. It didn't have a split, and then they customized it there for me. So this hem is split. These are just amazing. I wear these all the freaking time. It's the perfect rise, the perfect color. Moving on to accessories really quickly. I don't have a lot of cool belts yet that are vintage, because that is my goal coming up. The Vintage Twin has amazing vintage belts. But I did get these two at a thrift store, and I thought it was important to just let you know how to do this. So these are both leather. They're real leather, and they're just gold buckle belts. This one looks cooler to me, a little older, a little cooler. And then this one, I don't like it as much because it's a little too gold for my preference, but I've worn it, and it's more like horseshoey, like Western inspired. And they're just basic black belts, but they literally cost me $2 because I got them at the Goodwill. So if you're looking for a black, cooler, more vintage looking belt, go to the freaking Goodwill or the thrift store and get an old man belt. You can cut them. Like, I didn't have to cut these because they're small, but let's say this is too long, you can cut it and then make your own holes and get a real leather belt instead of a crappy one from Forever 21. That sounded so bitchy. I didn't mean that bitchy, like, if that's what you're thinking.
Another one.
Let's go to jackets now. So the other thing I get the most of at thrift stores is jackets. Jackets are the best things to find at thrift stores. Go to the men's section and look at jackets. If you're looking for leather, go to the men's section. They have the best leather jackets. Speaking of, my favorite genuine leather jacket that I own is Thrifted, and it was the best find of my life. Do I still have a tag on this? Oh no, I don't. Sometimes I keep the tag on before I film just to prove to you guys how much it was. But I got this at a store called The Good Stuff in Levittown, Pennsylvania. So if you're from PA, you might know where that's at. In the men's section for, I think it was $35. Real leather. It's so good. I'll insert a video here from another video I filmed a while ago because I've already worn this in so many videos. But this is, to me, the most epic part of this jacket. Like, these details, are you serious? These Western-inspired little, like, bolo tie details. And then this, to me, is the most impressive part of the jacket. This is a suede cutout rose, both of them. That kind of detail, this jacket would easily be like $550 at like a Theory or like an All Saints. This would be $500, $600, maybe even $800. It's so thick. I actually love that it's boxy. So it's really, I don't know what this lighting is about, so please excuse it. It's really boxy and it instantly makes you look like you know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? So if you don't know how to wear a leather jacket and you're like, I just don't feel cool, go to a thrift store, get a used, worn in, cooler looking vibe one, which is anything. Mark actually got one with a zip. It's a zip up and an elastic waist and it looks dope with everything. I could wear a sweatshirt underneath of this and like sweatpants and just throw this on and I'm instantly 10 levels cooler. Is another jacket and it is a denim jacket and it was my dad's. I steal my dad's clothes all the time. This is not a vintage denim that's very good, meaning it's not like Levi's or Lee or Wrangler, anything like that. I actually never even heard of the brand. Yeah, I don't even know. It's like a star. It's like literally like it's not really a recognizable brand. And I don't love most of the denim feel, but what I do love about this jacket is that it's huge and worn in and so perfect. Like it just does the job. Do you know what I mean? And I like these old school buttons. I think they're supposed to be like copying Levi's because it says guaranteed high quality. But he's had this jacket for so long and he's worn it. And plus it's my dad's and you know I love wearing my family's old clothing. So I've been wearing this jacket for years. I started stealing this jacket like 3 years ago and started wearing it with like leather leggings and I just instantly felt cooler. I'm like, the man is a legend. Let me wear his jacket. Like, let's go. Look at your dad's, your uncle's, your brother's closet and steal their big ass denim jacket and put it over like some leather leggings and feel cooler. Thrifted, this was $20 from Ministries Thrift in Southampton, Pennsylvania. It is a trench coat. So I don't love the fit of this in person. It's a little boxy, it's a little too big, but in photos it looks dope because it's a little bit, it's like a lot, like everything is bigger. Like the shoulders are bigger and it photographs really well. I put it in a reel recently and I'll put it here styled. I think I styled it 2 ways and I'll put it there for you to see, but trench coats are a great way to save money because they sell these right now everywhere because they're very trendy, but you can go to a thrift store and there's like a whole entire rack of trench coats to pick from. Mark actually got one too that's more khaki colored and this just like light khaki. The way I styled it in my reel, I saw something inspired by that. I was inspired by something on Pinterest that was just like boots and a jacket. And ever since I've seen that, I'm like, I need one of those. So this is a great find and it was so cheap. And like, honestly, if you want to try something trendy, go to a thrift store, pick something out that like fits it, use it a few times. And if you don't end up liking it, like redonate it. And if you love it, then maybe you can invest in a really nice one. But kind of the perfect way for me to get this out of my system and also have like a cool trend on my Instagram. And I don't know, it's growing on me a lot. And I don't know, I recommend trying it out. Next piece is in my car right now because I have to go get it repaired, so I don't want to mess with it. But it is a fur coat. If you're a vegan, I really apologize for the leather and fur I've been talking about now. But it is a genuine fur, cream coat. I'll put a photo here from my Instagram. It is gorgeous. Now, I'm not a big fan of buying brand new fur. I don't think I've ever purchased brand new fur. Someone purchased me a bag with fur on it, but I never bought it myself. It's not really into buying new fur. So if it's already been made and it's very old, you know, I'm not gonna like let it go to waste. That's kind of how I look at it. I'm like, it's already been made, so I don't feel as bad. But it is so stunning. I got it for like, I think it was $150 or $200. It has a tear in it, so I need to get it repaired, but it is so gorgeous. And in the winter time, it's just on a casting, like really skinny vintage jeans, like my vintage Guess jeans with that jacket and a black bodysuit. Like, hi, no, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. It's called fucking cool. Look it up.
Or you see someone that you know and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they...
The amount of times I said cool in this video, does that automatically make me not cool? That's the question.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
Those are the last of the actual clothing pieces. Now I'm gonna move on to accessories. So this first one I got at a thrift store. This is from the Good Stuff in Levittown, Pennsylvania. It is a vintage leather Haan bag. So it is the perfect shoulder bag. It has like the snake skin embossing, and it's freaking Haan. He's a top designer, you guys. This would be so expensive elsewhere. And this bag style is trending as it is. So this is one of my best bag finds I think ever. I always am like picky with bags at thrift stores and even vintage stores sometimes, just because I don't want to get a bag that's just going to sit on my shelf. I hate that. It gives me anxiety. So I'm picky. And that was a great find. Anything black leather is like, you're going to wear it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I probably use that more than any other bag I own. My very last piece I'm going to show you is from Second Time Around in Philly, which is a more high-end vintage secondhand store. And this bag is a Peedi vintage Louis Vuitton. I got it a few years ago for like $300. And I wear this more than my brand new Louis Vuitton twist bag. I only wear this one. I don't know what it is. It's like, it just looks better. Like more, you know, it's not more quality than my brand new Louis Vuitton, but it looks better to me. Like, I just like this more. So I don't know if I just like vintage stuff more, but highly recommend if you're looking to get a designer bag, go to like secondhand or you know, secondhand stores or Second Time Around, I think it's called, Second Time Around, and you know, Tradesy and all these different cool places, because you don't have to spend $3,000 on a bag and have it sit on your shelf. So yeah, that is all of my vintage and thrift pieces that I wanted to show you guys in this video. Please stick around and subscribe to my channel, because in the future I'll be showing you my vintage denim for the summer, which I have amazing vintage shorts. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, suggestions, anything like that, please put it down below. I love to hear from you guys. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.